page and my YouTube.
Okay.
Right now, because I
Right.
needed a key to get on Instagram. So,
Okay.
all right, can't post comments just on this. Okay, hi guys. So, sorry we're a little bit late. What time is it? It's
We're
4:06.
about 6 minutes behind.
Yeah. But for those of you that are joining us, thank you. Welcome to Missing in Traffic podcast. My name is Teresa Norwood, and this is Rebecca.
I'm Rebecca Ingram. How you doing?
And we're part of a bigger team that is banded together to help find missing people. Today, we're going to talk about the missing mother of 5. Her name is Marissa Carmichael, and she's missing out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And we're just kind of going to talk a little bit and help everybody learn a little bit about what's been going on with her case.
Okay. So here's what we know. She went missing in the early hours of January 14th outside of an Exxon gas station in downtown Greensboro. I'm familiar with the gas station. It's about 10 minutes from my house. Kind of seedy little neighborhood. Definitely don't want to be there in the middle of the night. That's my personal opinion. But she was driven there by a friend. She was basically kicked out of the car. Her phone was taken. She went into the store. She called 911. Told the police what was going on, that she was lost. She didn't know where she was. And it took the police 40 minutes to get there to her. By the time they arrived, she had left with another person. And that was the last anyone saw of her. So, Teresa, you would carry on from there?
Yeah. She basically, went out the evening of the 13th of January with some friends. They hung out a little bit. I think they got dropped off at a friend's house, right? And then they went to a bar together, and they went back to the house, and then they went out to club. It's a club called 117 in downtown Greensboro, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I believe she met up with another friend, a male friend, and they took off a little bit early before the club closed. And they got into a little squabble of some sort in the car, and he dropped her off at the Exxon on West Market in Greensboro.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. It's not on West. Is it on West Market? I think it's on Elm. Actually, it's on Elm Street.
The Exxon.
Yeah, the Exxon is.
Oh, okay. I've had it wrong all this time. Then.
Well, West Market, Elm, all kind of run in together.
Okay. I know it's
I
right.
think one side of it might be on West Market, the other side might be on Elm. So it's kind of a very condensed area, and you have like apartment homes, and you have the gas station, and you have like little seedy little bars and clubs. I mean, you literally could be driving down there, and you could be downtown city, then residential, then seedy side of town in 5 minutes. So
right.
It's very, very convoluted.
Right. The name of those apartments that were across the street.
Cumberland Courts.
Right. So yeah, it's over in that area.
And I actually go to a farmer's market that's like literally 4 blocks away from Cumberland Courts.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a nice
sorry,
farmer's
you're in
market.
Greensboro.
Yeah, I am in Greensboro. Yeah. So I'm literally 10 minutes from where all this happened. And I actually had looked into moving into the Cumberland Courts at one point, because they're one of the few residential places around where the rent is not astronomically crazy. Like, you can move into a 3-bedroom townhouse there for under $800 a month.
Okay.
That's unheard of, in the current rental market. But I mean, it's very nice. It's very well put together. You get a lot of North Carolina A&T students who live there, because it's literally within walking distance of the A&T campus. Mm-hmm. UNCG is not far away from it either. That's the other big college that's downtown. And so you have a very young and urban dynamic in that area, but also not far from where all that is. If you go 4 blocks the opposite direction, that's where you run into severe low-income housing, these not super safe nightclubs you can go into, And a lot of petty crime goes on around there. A lot of drug dealing, and as we have found out in this case, a lot of prostitution.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yes, yeah, I'm actually in Chicago, guys. So I'm not there, but I do a lot of stuff online to kind of try to help along with the search. And Rebecca and some of the other members of our team, they go out and they actually do in-person searches for her.
Right.
They've actually done a lot of things that have risked their life. So it's pretty scary. It's not like she said, well, the Exxon isn't necessarily the place of interest that we've been, necessarily keeping our interest on, but it's not a safe thing to do, but we're all in this together, and we just want to bring Marissa home.
Right. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's just so much involved with this case. A lot of theory, a lot of speculation. Some has been proven, but it's so sensitive subject matter. It's hard for us to really talk about it openly on this podcast because we are talking about someone's mother, someone's daughter, someone's friend. And when her world got exposed as to what it really was, a lot of people got very upset about that. And unfortunately, because of the world that she was delved in, she was dealing with, it does play a role or play a part into most likely why she disappeared. So, and we're now on day 42 of her missing. 42 days. And this woman has not made contact with anybody. Her mother, her sister, her children, 5 children, all under the age of 9, and she has not reached out to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings up a lot of theories. Did she actually leave on her own? Did she go off somewhere and is living a secret life somewhere away from this? That is one thing you can't completely discount.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was, and the bigger one that they're really putting out there is she was taken against her will and is being trafficked.
Right, right.
And that is something that in the investigation of this, we're finding out as a group, and you know this, Teresa, that Greensboro is a hub for sex trafficking because we're an hour away from Charlotte, an hour away from Raleigh, which are other hubs for sex trafficking. And I think in the beginning when she went missing and people were walking around downtown searching for her, I thought it was like looking for a needle in a haystack because where she went missing, the expressway is not far from there. And whoever took her, they wanted to get her out of Greensboro fast. 5 minutes, they're on the expressway. 15 minutes, they're in another city. And they could have gone to High Point, which is where she's from. They could have gone to Winston. They could have gone a deeper part of Greensboro. They could have been on their way to Charlotte. She could have been out of here. We're literally 45 minutes away from the Virginia border. She could be in another state.
Right.
And these are all things. It's like, I love our group because even knowing that information, nobody has stopped looking for her because we're still looking. We're still running down the leads. We're still talking to people who were involved in her life, who were there at these different events that night where she, went to an Airbnb and took a nap and then went to the club and then left the club and went back to an Airbnb party and may have gotten into an altercation. We've not gotten confirmation of that, So many things are going on and no one has been dissuaded from stop looking. I've gone on 2 searches myself, trekking in the woods alone. Well, not alone. I was with 2 other people, but very creepy, very muddy. And it made me think if somebody is out here waiting to catch a victim, they could catch you. And we were so deep that if we started screaming, no one was going to hear you.
Right.
That is very thought provoking when you're doing these type of searches.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. You guys have gone out into, like the wooded areas that are closed off. I believe you were on one of the searches that you found something strange in the water.
Yes, that was one. Well, I was on one by myself. I was checking a neighborhood out that there was we're over by the hotels that we were talking about where she was known to frequent or people she was spending time with were known to frequent. And there was a creek bed that ran under a bridge. And I didn't think she could be there, but underneath that bridge, the water keeps going and it's on another side of the woods. And I did not feel safe going under there by myself. But there was a lot of sand. There was a lot of things that if they wanted to hide anything, that would be where they would go. I do know at least one or two people from our crew went down to the Airbnb where that original altercation was supposed to have happened, and they saw some suspicious things like bloody sheets, a broken fence that wasn't broken before. So it's interesting because that when you have people who are there in that area all the time, they're like, hey, that wasn't broken last night. Why is it broken now? You got to ask these questions. Why has the place where this party was been freshly painted in the days after she went missing? These are the things you have to ask. Why is this happening? Was this already a plan, or were they hiding something? Why was the overpowering smell of bleach so prevalent in that house days after she went missing? And you have to ask the question, who's hiding what? What do people know? And if she is no longer with us, why did that happen? What was the motive? And that's been the puzzling thing with this case from day one. Why?
Right. Sorry, I went offline for some reason.
Oh, okay.
We get trains that come by here, and it's so close, I guess, that it cuts me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, 42 days in, you start asking the hard questions. Is she still with us? Is she elsewhere, or is she gone off on her own and she's happy about that?
Right.
It's one of those three scenarios.
And I can't imagine that she would just take off and leave her kids, because from what I've seen about her pictures and everything that I've looked at on her different profiles, she loves her children.
Right.
She seems like
I would agree with that.
Very good mother. And everybody makes mistakes in life, so everybody's got something to say. But at the end of the day, I can truly see that she loves her kids.
Right. And I completely agree with that. So that's why that particular scenario is like the bottom of the three. Right. Because she's there. There's 5 of them. You could tell she's always happy and smiling, and she loved her kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anything, she was going to take off, she'd take them with her.
Right. She seems pretty close to her mother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that too. So that's the other question. The family has been very, very, very adamant about not letting people help look for her, except for the people they want, like in their little close little friend group, family group. Yeah. And the question is why? Yeah. Why are you so against people from the outside coming in to help?
Mm-hmm.
It does not cast a good light on the family at all. It doesn't. It makes it very suspicious.
Yeah. Right. And that might be why some people have had some negative things to say. I know, I truly don't believe that there's been a lot of negative talk around the situation, because anybody has, they want to put Marissa down or anybody down. It's just, we're all here to kind of help out. And that's what we're doing here on this podcast, is just trying to bring some light on, all missing and trafficked cases, but right now, specifically Marissa.
And on that note, because of all missing and trafficked cases, in the month that we've all been together trying to figure this out, how many other cases in Greensboro have we come across of missing people?
Right.
Too many. One is too many, but it's been several over the last 6 months that that I had no idea about. And I know when Marissa had been missing maybe 6 days, I'm part of another discussion group on Facebook called Crime Junkies. And I posted hey, we've got our own little missing person case here, and I put it in there. And I was so surprised how many people that are local to Greensboro. They may not, some are in Greensboro, some are in High Point, some are in Lexington. These are all the neighboring city areas. And how many of them are I haven't heard about this. When did this happen? How have I not heard about this? Right. And that's more upsetting than anything else, because why wasn't there more news coverage about this? Why? And you see these teenage girls that go missing, almost no coverage on them either, and they're minors. That really should be getting some coverage. If you had to pick and choose, they're children. Why is that not getting covered?
Right.
So, I mean, in my opinion, I think that the trafficking issue is so prevalent in North Carolina. The FBI needs to open up their eyes and start investigating better. Greensboro police needs to get their head out of their butt and investigate better. And Governor Cooper, if you see this, I'm calling you out because you're the head of the state. Do something, because this is ridiculous. I have a child. I have 2 daughters. My oldest is 21, almost 22. If she went missing, there's no way on earth I would stop. I'd be climbing the rafters trying to find clues, trying to find out where she is.
Right.
And I would be at the governor's house, knocking on his door, demanding assistance. So, yeah, that's not enough. Has been done. Not enough. Nowhere near enough. I know the family's limited as to what they can do, but outside of that, nowhere near enough has been done.
Right. While you're talking, I'm going to try to put a picture up here.
Okay.
I haven't used this for a while, so give me a moment.
Sure.
I want to put a picture of Marissa up. Let me move this over. Guys, especially if you're in the Greensboro area or any area that's around there, please share and, maybe tag your friends and family so they are aware of what's, this case as well. We'd like to bring her home. So, all right.
And they're asking for the link to this in the group chat, by the way.
Okay. Who wants to join you? Or
let's see. It was.
I don't see any comments.
Faya wants to join.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
That chat, sorry.
Gotcha. 1 second. I think I'm going to give up on trying to share. I don't want it to freeze up. Let's see. But podcast, I can have it set up a little better so we can actually share her picture so it looks a little bit better on the screen.
Right.
Hold on 1 second here. Okay. All right. In our group chat?
Yeah, in our group chat.
Okay.
SVU group chat.
All right. No moment.
Because, I mean, again, we're at 42 days in, and people are starting to feel a little dejected right now, like they haven't been able to get anything resolved. And I understand that because we all want to find her. We all want to be the hero of the story. Not in a negative way, but like you feel accomplished. And I understand now to a degree how families feel.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. Growing up, I grew up in Eastern Washington and in a city called Spokane, Washington. And we had a lot of young girls, and, even, some like in our older years that went missing. Hold on. This is freezing up because I was trying to add a picture. Hold on. No, I have to get through these kinks during the early stages.
Yeah, I know.
Second. Sorry. I have the fastest internet. It's just something funky going on. 1 second here. There's no train out there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't hear the train though.
Okay. Yeah, there's not one out there right now. So I said something was funky going on. 1 second here. Okay, 1 second. 1 moment.
Okay, Faya says she's already in.
Oh, okay. Got it. Jesus. 1 second there. Jeez.
Hello.
I'm glad it's happening on this one so we can figure out what makes it. Are you there?
Let's see. Comment.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Can she hear
Am I
you?
back?
Uh,
Let me write
yeah,
in.
and she said I'm already in, so I didn't see her in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I think she might just be a watcher. It looks like there's 4 people watching us live.
Okay.
Let me post a comment.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, our fearless leader of our group, I know she's starting to feel, I think, overwhelmed. I think we all by now had thought we would have found something concrete to find her. And it's hard. It's hard to put so much time and energy into something and it not pan out the way you want it to. And I haven't put nowhere near the time and energy into it as others in this group have. And I completely understand why they feel the way they feel.
I definitely think you've put in a lot. So,
I mean, I throw in my opinion, but I mean, there's others who have been out there like every day searching, checking out the crime scenes, dealing with the interlopers of people who want to say things that aren't true. There's been a lot. Like I said, there's been a lot going on, especially when you get people who because now we're dealing with fake Marissa Carmichaels. Saying, "Hey, I need money," and like, who are you? I'm Marissa. What are your kids' names? I don't know. Then you're not Marissa. If you don't know your children's names, why are you asking for money? So and that's something from what I understand is common with these missing people cases. When people get involved and start like really looking, you get a lot of these scam accounts who want to try to benefit from the family and friends involved. So where are you, Marissa? Send up a smoke signal or something, so we can come find you. I hope we find her. I hope we do. Because it's sad. It's sad. Nobody should be missing. And nobody should be acting like they don't care because of what somebody's background is. That's just terrible. And I think I lost Teresa. There you are. You're back. Hey.
And it is a train.
Okay.
But after this podcast, I'm going to see what other issues it might have been that keep making it freeze up and kicking off. So
okay.
It usually doesn't act up this bad. So let me turn this off. All right. So where do we leave off at? I know a lot of people might not even really know anything about Marissa. And we can definitely post some, pictures in her flyer in the comments after the podcast if you'd like to share.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's so many flyers. There's so many pictures. I mean, the girl did not shy away from a camera. That is for certain. Oh my goodness.
Right,
She
right.
loved having her picture taken. You can tell that.
Yeah.
I
And
wish I had her confidence.
she had a lot of people that felt she was beautiful and followed her too.
Oh,
She had
she
a
was very
beautiful
pretty. She was
personality.
very, very pretty. Or
Hmm.
she is very pretty. I shouldn't say was. She is very pretty.
Very.
And you could tell in the photos she just had a light and an energy that people just obviously were attracted to. So
Hmm.
yeah, she's lucky that she had that ability, you know.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that. So that's amazing. Like I said, every picture I see of her, I didn't see her looking angry. She was always smiling. I think the one time she looked upset was the surveillance footage we got from the gas station.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Yeah, that's the
very
one time
off.
she looked upset. Every other time she was happy.
Yeah. I came across one of her videos on her page last night, and she was saying how she didn't really go live very often. And she
Right.
has such a vivacious, fun personality. Like she was
Yeah, she
just,
did. She
you
does.
could tell that people love her. They're drawn to
Yeah,
her personality.
right.
Um,
So that goes back to possible another motive. Was somebody jealous? Is that why
mhm,
she's
mhm.
missing? You know, that's
Right.
been
Right.
bandied about a little bit, that people that were last seen with her were people that had personal issues with her. Like they thought she got too much attention, or she didn't give them attention, or stole attention from them, or whatever. I don't know. Teresa, what do you think happened? Do what's your theory?
Well, let's go with what we know. And
Okay.
this isn't to throw anybody under the bus, guys. We're not trying to say that anybody's responsible for taking her because we do not know that. Again, we're
Right.
just here kind of tossing around some theories based on the things that we do know. We're not going to necessarily share everything that we know because that's stuff that we're kind of doing on the back end, but we'll kind of go into a little bit. So we do know that she went to Club 117 with her friend slash promoter Mo.
Hmm.
And they do. It's a club, and they also have like dancers there, and
Of the
um,
exotic nature.
right, right, music, drinking. A club. And she was having a good time, and there have been some messages going around, screenshots. I guess one of her friends named Jersey
Hmm.
decided to show up at the club, and so they kind of met up at the club, and then they left together. So from what we have been told and what has been supposedly confirmed through media outlets and family and friends all over social media is that she left with Jersey from Club 117, and they got into an argument in the car, and Jersey put her out of the car at Exxon, um, kept her phone, and I'm thinking he did throw out her purse. Is that kind of what you're gathering from it too?
Yeah, because if you look at the still photo from her being at the gas station,
Hmm.
there's a purse on the counter, and her mom, I think,
Right,
has even confirmed that it had a broken strap, and I believe they
right,
confirmed that's her purse.
right. But she didn't have her phone, and so she made a call to 911 and said that somebody robbed her, kept her phone, threw her out. She was stranded. Of course, she knew she was at a gas station, but she really didn't know like where she was as far as like
Right,
what side of town. And most of us don't know what the phone numbers are anymore these days because they're stored in our phones.
right,
So, she didn't have any way to call anybody because I'm guessing she didn't know anybody's phone number.
right,
Right. Right.
right. And I
And
think
then,
how she was reaching out to people. I know the next step of that is once she left with the person she left with from the gas station is a gentleman by the name of Sean.
yes, yes.
She had used his phone to reach out to her mother and to a friend of hers that was staying at her parents' house. And the mom never answered the phone because it was a number she didn't recognize. But her friend did answer the phone, and she said that she wanted her to get in touch with Jersey so she can get her phone back.
Mhm, mhm.
And that, from what we understand, I believe was the last conversation she had with anybody outside of that car.
Right. Naja.
Naja, yeah,
It was like, yeah, her one of her best friends that was
right.
staying with her at her house and with her
Right,
family.
nausea.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's like one of the last conversations she had. that were confirmed, because the next morning when her mother woke up and realized she wasn't home, she saw
Right.
the missed calls, called the number back, got Sean, because she had said Sean answered the phone. And when she asked where Marissa was, he said, well, she's sleeping. Okay. Then she
Mhm.
calls back again later. Where's Marissa? Oh, she walked to the store. And then after that, he stopped answering the phone.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And we do know, and this has been released, the police have spoken with him and
Mhm.
they've deemed him a witness, not a suspect. So
Right. Right.
that kind of limits where else to go and where else, who else to look at.
Right.
Um,
Because
eh,
she was seen with him last,
right.
leaving the gas station on the actual video footage.
Correct.
Right. Never to be seen again.
No, and never to be seen again. Exactly. So I don't know. I said it's a shame that she's been gone this long. I know the other per texts that have been put out there by friends of hers. Um, she does have a history of disappearing, but I don't
Mhm.
think for this kind of long. And she always kept in touch with her mother. And I think
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
where the red flags are going up. She has not talked to anybody this entire time she's been gone, and
Right.
she doesn't do that.
Right. 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 And she's definitely one to post on social media quite a bit. Um, and yeah, she has a job at the Waffle House. She hasn't
Yep.
been to work. She hasn't reached out to her kids. Like something's
Right.
definitely wrong. I mean, I personally, you asked me what I thought happened. I personally think that somebody has kidnapped her.
Hmm.
I'm not going to tell you who I think that is, at least not right now.
Hmm.
Um, but I think somebody has her, and I'm praying to God this isn't happening. But I have a strong feeling that she might be being sex trafficked. I know we're not
Hmm.
really supposed to say that word, so I'll just say SA. Try not to use some of these terms,
Right.
but I think that somebody has her. And let's also put out there the fact that somebody has hacked her one of her Facebook accounts, her older accounts,
Right.
and has been sending messages. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, because I'm frozen on my side. So,
Yeah, you're frozen on my side too.
kind
Oh,
of get
now,
out
okay, now
there
you're
that
moving. So yeah, but I can still hear you.
yeah, I guess we're talking, but we're frozen.
Okay.
Um,
But as you were saying, like, one of her older accounts is sending messages.
yeah, yeah. So um, I don't know what to really make of that, because she could be.
Yep. So Teresa has disappeared again. And as she was saying that, and I agree with this, because the alternative is even more distressing. We believe Marissa is being held against her will and being forced to do things that she would not want to do. So that is one theory. The other theory is that she is no longer present. And theory number one, there's a chance she can come home to her children. Theory number two, there is no chance. So until we're given evidence to the contrary, we're going to believe in theory number one, that she is being held against her will somewhere and being forced to do things she doesn't want to do. And hopefully, as this podcast goes on and we bring light to other situations, maybe, just maybe, somebody will see this and reach out to Teresa or myself or anybody else who's part of this. And we can get some of these people home. Get them found, get them home, get them help. Because this whole trafficking issue is very bad. And it goes all over the country. And more women are being brought into this. And not good. Not good at all. You know, like I said, I have 2 younger daughters who are the prime age for something like that. And from what I understand, it's not just younger women, it's older women that are going missing as well. So there's just a lot going on that needs to be resolved. And we need people in government to help, to give us resources, to give a darn about what's happening. So looks like we're having some technical difficulties, so we're going to stop right here. But otherwise, chime back in when we have it back up. Thanks.